Welcome to the bold analysis. The tragedy that befell this country of how Christianity was used as a tool of political influence is going to have permanent damage in our political ecosystem and by large extent, our governance structure. And it is upon the country and the people of Kenya to say, never again shall Christianity be used as a hand wash to sanitize politicians. I have this position has been triggered by the latest statement Provost Wainaina. Was just given a statement in Nairobi chapel today when he came from the UK. And I know this one, if Kenya Kwanza team gonna listen, I think they will be so much annoyed. And if there is something that can be done to the man of God, I know something, I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very true that in the run-up to 2022 general election, the Mount Kenya churches were used as the entry point by President William Ruto. The women caucuses in the churches were the target. And the messages of biblical messages were actually crafted alongside political messages. And a clique of the population from Mount Kenya believed that in William Samuel Ruto, there was the Messiah of the moment. But we want, and we mentioned here, that the church was just coming as a hand wash. And you could see politicians moving from one church to the other, crying, even having the altars. You know, there was current altar and all those altars. But then nowadays, those altars, I don't know whether they're still there. And the leaders came in church carrying Bibles, worshiping and praying. Then at the end of the tail end, they will take the largest part of the service to send the political messages. Until politicians even became choir members in churches. Never again the country must learn its lesson. Listen to this audio. Listen to this video. In this podcast, I want to explain the danger of using Christianity as a tool of political persuasion. I am seeing it happening now. I am seeing it happening now.
The context of Kenya. Even while I am away, I engage with Kenyan situation because I am Kenyan. And you remember when I was the provost here, my considered conviction was you cannot look at life in a binary way. That there is holy and there is unholy. There is what is political and there is what is church. When politicians want to use the church to propagate their agenda, they say church and politics is one. When we become very tough on them, they say, no, you do the church things, leave politics to us. I am convinced, as a theologian, I am a politician as well. And politics is talking about the governance of a nation. And the church and church leaders must engage in such.
At the inauguration, there was a lot of religion until even the country said, I think a host of analysts said, we are overdoing it. The Christianity as a tool of persuasion is dangerous because it has limited the rational judgment of the public on their leaders. And no one talks about the competence. Let's put it this way. Immediately, William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza came into power. A host of women leaders reminded the country that this is the political kingdom was put in power by the spiritual kingdom. And, you know, remember how events were organized about people praying for rainfall that was, I think it was 14th February, praying for rainfall. And that messaging seems to have continued. Even to date, the president will say, the rain is coming because we prayed. And that has, there are people who still believe today that this is our God. We have, and in fact, it was for the first time, the public was told that it is for the first time that we have a president who is godly, a president who will now put the position of the church in leadership. This tool was used against Uhuru Kenyatta, with the leaders going to the churches and saying that after Uhuru Kenyatta, even if they prayed for him, after that, it happened. While election was marred with allegations of rigging. And not even after that, we have seen breach of human rights violations. And I think the truth of the matter here is, by that time, Kenyans were only seeing the front page. But immediately Ruto came into power, I agree with what my friend Pauline Njoroge says. It was also good that William Ruto became the president, because we would have lived the rest of our lives believing that he was the engine behind Uhuru Kenyatta. Maybe we would have believed so. But because he became president, we happen to know the real colors. The tool of Christianity is dangerous because, number two, it thrives in selling hope to hopeless population, and it's the platform. Yes, religion is an opium of the people. And because William Ruto wanted to reach the downtrodden, he didn't go, he went to the village churches down there. And because things were tough, it has never been easy, the hope was sold. And that misguided the political choice at the ballot. Never again should we take Christianity to the ballot as a tool of measuring. Even the same Bible says, not all those who praise the Lord will see the heaven, will go to heaven. The same Bible says so. But the blunder, the fact that we have allowed us to use Christianity as a tool of political persuasion, where, I mean, this is what you need. After listening to the word of God, yes, me they know, by the way, where I go, my PEFA, they know very well. I will listen to the sermon and immediately I'm done. If there is someone who has been, and I like politics, I do politics for a living, but I do not sit in the church, listen to politicians. I don't. I don't do that. I don't. Yeah, even people around my circle know that maybe if you invite politicians after the sermon, I will just leave. I don't give a damn for that. It's a tool. Number three, the Christianity suspended the accountability question on governance. That video you've listened to is a mainstream church. Evangelicals were used to explain to the public how William Ruto and Kenya Kwanza was the best thing that was going to happen in the planet. But now, as things are wrong, things are turning upside down, they are silent. They are silent. They're not fighting for the followers. They're all keeping quiet. And that is why it's a very... So, you know, and this goes to the... Don't believe if that church elder, that pastor told you that Ruto was a good man. Let him or her come back and explain to you that he or she supports the taxation regime, taxation policies. Yes. insurance that was supporting parents, children in school has been scrapped off because of some corruption allegations around the same. So let them come. It's a blunder, because if that is the basis in where you make political judgment, you make a political choice because a leader came to my church, because my pastor said so and so, in Christianity, the modern Christianity has become transactional through representatives. The relationship between Kenya Kwanza and the church was transactional, where church leaders were told they will even compete how many times you'll mention William Ruto in your sermon, then you'll get some stipend over the weekend. It is very true. And I think, for me, what is more encouraging as at the moment is that every voice is coming out. Even the church is saying, enough is enough. It is such voices coming out is good, because sometimes when it is Raila calling press briefing saying that things are bad, Raila can be profiled and branded as someone who is just destabilizing government, or he's talking because he lost. So the church, for example, that church elder, did he vie? No. Did he lose anything? No. He was actually in UK. He has not been in the country. The Canon Wainaina has been in the UK. So just come back and did that somewhere. So has he lost anything? That's the question. No. And when these voices are coming out, it actually confirms what most of us have been saying in these corridors, in the social media spaces, that the voices must be raised. People must talk. Unless Kenyans talk, then their voices, and I think this must be raised now. Yes. Any other cosmetics, and I picked this topic because even as the moment, the issue of Christianity as a platform or a political tool platform is still going on. And you see politicians walking into churches with money and attending fundraisers and doing politics. As we talk, let the church leaders come and tell us. So their spiritual president is telling us he was given a sword and he will use that sword. Was that allowed? Is it? And they gave him the Bible and the Constitution. And then they gave him the Bible, then the nation gave him Constitution and the sword. Now he's telling us he's going to use the sword. We've seen violation of human rights. We've seen people, disappearances. We've not seen the church saying, is that biblical or not? So is he doing that which is biblical or not? Ladies and gentlemen, the country must open its eyes. And we must have a candid discussion. Never again. In the law, there is something called liroita, as in it has made you understand. Never again shall you allow, in your personal, individual capacity, allow your judgment to be corrupted by Christianity. Yes. Hi guys, so we're here as we had promised that we were coming to this other side of Kibera to deliver the wheelchairs. So because of the other residential training that the mothers of the kids had, we had to reschedule to this Sunday. And we've come here to Mekuja. We've brought the 5 wheelchairs that we had earlier stated. Even though we've not, wazazi wengine hawakumake, we manage around 3, yeah? Yeah. To manage 3, others are absent, but we've had the 3 that wako hapa, but the other wheelchairs we have, so tuna believe kwamba the team itawapatia wataweza kupewa the wheelchairs. Now I want to but I want to give each parent atasema something a minute, but before them I need to introduce these 2 ladies around me. I know you're seeing them we've seen them for a second time. So Kawira is normally our admin. Sasa tukishafanya, she's the person that an engine behind all this, and we also have else on this end. So Kawira, itabidi uongee na watu alafu tuwapatie.
Okay, so for me, I'm just going to say thank you for the people who came through. As you can see, we were able to get the 5 wheelchairs, and thank you so much for watu wenye waliweza pia come through for us, mkatupea the funds. We really appreciate, and also for the management, we just want to believe that when you wajamii kukuja pia watapewa zenye zimepatikana. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Yes. Mama Benja, I say something.
Okay. Mimi nasema ni asante kwa hiyo organization yenu ambayo mmeamua mnasaidia watoto wenye wana disability. Pia nashukuru kwa hii wheelchair ambayo mmetusaidia nayo. Kama mimi nilikuwa already, watu walikuwa wananicheka kila wakati ni mtoto wako kwa mgongo. So nimefurahia kwa sababu Benjamin atakapokalia hii wheelchair itakuwa ni kazi rahisi, ni kumsukuma tu, nikimlete therapy, maybe nataka kuenda somewhere, ni kusukuma tu. Nashukuru kwa hayo ambayo mmetenda na mzidi kutenda. Mbarikiwe sana. Ni hayo tu, na mbarikiwe.
Hata mimi naitwa Eva ama Njeri ama Mama Nancy. Nancy ndio huyu. Kwangu ni kurudisha shukrani kwenu. Juu ni wengi, watu ni wengi wangetukumbuka lakini hawakutukumbuka, lakini nyinyi mmetukumbuka na sisi tuko hapa tukisema ni asante. Mungu awabariki na waongezee wema.
Na mimi naitwa Sara Kemto, Mama Gloria. Gloria ndio huyu already amekalia wheelchair. Na mimi nashukuru Mungu kwa sababu yenu. Mungu amewatumia, mmekuja kutusaidia. Ndio watoto kama Gloria ni mkubwa, kumbeba kwa mgongo ni shida. Nashukuru Mungu, Gloria amepata wheelchair, ataendea shule Januari. Wacha Mungu awabariki. Mali hiyo pesa imetoka na Mungu airudishe. Mbarikiwe sana na Mungu awaongezee. Nimeshukuru. Thank you.
Yes, so yes, on behalf of this amazing team, asante sana. I'm just sure of words. We mentioned that intervention ya disability, we will try to still upscale. Nimerealize kwamba the number of kids in need of wheelchairs ni wengi sana. We cannot, but I believe with this start, as we roll into 2024, we'll be able to support and develop this as a full program and support the team that we have here so that we move forward. Asante sana.